Welcome to this last part in the series, Which Way is Smart? As promised, I'm going to try and simplify all the preceding videos by presenting 3 smart models that can be used. Lewis Carroll in Alice in Wonderland wrote, "I give myself very good advice, but very seldom follow it." So hopefully that won't be the case here. So to recap, we need a solution that provides cost-effective, simple, bidirectional communication, where the components collaborate effectively to deliver maximum value, with components that can perform multiple concurrent tasks, and functionality that's fit for purpose, that delivers valuable information that enhances your business needs, and which makes economic sense and is simple to implement and maintain. Perhaps Warren Buffett would sum it up better: price is what you pay, but value is what you get. So the first model I want to show you pertains to low-end residential. So the recommended low-end residential model is with SDS split meters, which have bidirectional communication. This kind of model is suitable for where there are a large number of metering points, but where the revenue per point is not large, but then conversely the scope of services required is not large. So this topology involves meters which are SDS DIN split meters with PLC CIU, because you don't want wired CIUs, and a concentrator which is meter interoperable. And between the two, a wired communication medium such as RS485, M-Bus, or even PLC, and using some form of communication which is standardized like IEC 6205552 or IEC 6205621. I recommend a head-end system which is based on the IEC 619689 or SIM interface, and again using a comms medium of LPWAN and GSM as a backup, or GSM plus Wi-Fi as a backup. And for the data, I recommend some form of open source protocol like protobufs with a data structure similar to but a much smaller subset of 619689. The choice of MDM or equivalent should also be based on SIM and 619689. The communication medium, well, they should all be based in the cloud or data center and preferably co-located, using a service-orientated architecture and web servers. And in terms of data exchange, once again, using IEC 619689 is the recommended standard. This solution is embodied by the SmartWorks Smart SDS solution. Smart SDS has an optical interface adapter and concentrator, plus a head-end system. These connect to the SmartWorks AMI gateway and Service Point Manager. So there you have it, the first model for low-end residential. So now we move on to the second model, which is for high-end residential. So for high-end residential, I recommend Smart Prepayment, also known as Virtual Prepayment or Thin Prepayment. This is where there is a number of metering points which is not large, not small, somewhere in the Goldilocks level, but the revenue per point is much higher, but then again the scope of services is higher. In this topology, we'd be using a smart meter with the IEC 625621 or IEC 625552 interface to a smart or intelligent modem. Now this intelligent modem has to take away some of the workload from the head-end system, so that's why we call it a smart modem. In fact, the smart modem acts a little bit like a concentrator, except it's not taking communications to multiple meters. The head-end system would be the same as that used in low-end residential and based on 619689. The medium in this case would be LPWAN plus GSM as a backup, and the same data structures using open source protobuf, which is loosely based on 619689 but as a much reduced dataset, would be used. The same choice of MDM would be used, also based on 619689. The medium exactly the same, using cloud or data center where everything's co-located, service-orientated architecture, web servers, and once again IEC 619689. This implementation is embodied with SmartWorks Smart Prepayment solution. SmartWorks has partnered with a company called Smart Grid Technologies, which provides an intelligent modem and system to integrate with many different varieties of smart meter. These then connect into the SmartWorks AMI gateway and Service Point Manager, and most importantly, into the real-time rating engine of SmartWorks so the account balance can be determined immediately from readings received. The prepayment option can be implemented with a physical disconnect or reconnect, or virtually, in other words just in software with an alert. So there we have the second model for Highend Residential using Smart Prepayment. The third and final model is suitable for commercial and industrial or C&I customers. To all intents and purposes, the third model is very similar to the second model. That is for smart billing, however, not smart prepayment. In this particular model we have a low number of metering points, but the revenue per point is extremely high, and therefore the scope of services required from these customers is also normally very high. The topology for this model is identical to that discussed in the second model, namely a smart meter using 625621 or 625552 interface to a smart modem. The smart modem connects to the head-end system based on the 619689 specification. The medium is LPWAN plus GSM as a backup, and once again using the open source protobuf based on 619689, but probably requiring quite a few more fields because of the additional scope of services required. The MDM exactly the same, and the platform, cloud or data center co-located service-orientated architectures with web servers, again 619689 for all the modules. This model is embodied in the smart billing solution provided by SmartWorks. Once again, this embodies the AMI gateway, the Service Point Manager, real-time rating, but now also real-time billing using the Billing Manager. The Smart Billing module allows real-time bills to be generated either by the utility or by the customer themselves. So there we have the third model for C&I customers using Smart Billing. So let's ask that question a final time. Which way is smart? Well, needless to say, it's where the value is high and the cost is low. As Daffy says,
"He'll catch on any minute now."
For reference, the characteristics of each of the three models is described in this table. Whichever model you end up choosing, don't forget the good advice of the Mad Hatter. If you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. And finally, a reminder that there isn't one particular direction which is smart. Instead, think of smart as a smart circle. Thanks for watching.